I have Lisa Colleen, who's here from Bongo Boy Music. You can learn more about them if you go to bongoboymusic.com. But this is an organization that is working with the Remo Comfort Sound technology. Lisa, I welcome you to the program. How are you today?
Thank you.
So now tell me, I know the Comfort Sound technology has been truly groundbreaking in helping people with autism, Alzheimer's patients, veterans, PTSD, and so much more. And we're talking to a few different people who've participated in these studies or used the technology with businesses, therapy, or their own families. You work with an organization. You facilitate rhythm events, right, in your area. You're in Indianapolis, Indiana. And can you tell me a little bit about your experience with Remo Drums and their percussion?
Yes, I've I use the Comfort Sound technology almost everywhere I go now. I work with senior groups in their communities. Then I work sometimes in the dementia care units or the memory care units. I also work with a lot of preschools. I'm in the libraries a lot with library programming. And pretty much everywhere I've gone, I've switched over to Comfort Sound technology for one reason or another. A lot of times I will have kiddos on the spectrum, so I like to have the Comfort Sound technology in there and available to them. I also do it just because it's a nice sound when you're in a location like a library where you can still be doing your drumming activities.
You can drum in a library?
Yes, you can. It's really fun.
You can with the Comfort Sound technology. Now, you have a story about, when children. I have a son with autism, and I know sensory issues are very, very big. It can be very frightening, as where the average person might wince when they hear a big sound. Children who have tactile defensiveness and that sensory issue where they're very nervous about sounds or things that will make sounds. You had a story about a little boy who saw the drums and it was not good.
It was, I think what happens is if they're not familiar with the drum and they're not going to be the one drumming, when you hear a sound that someone else is putting out there, they automatically withdraw. And especially if it is a drum that is more of a high pitch, like a djembe or some kind of a high pitched drum. But once they come on in and you provide that little safe space, you don't jump on the drum right away. You just might tap the drum and invite them to start to come and join you, and just sit back and watch what happens as they get familiar with the drum. They start to put their hand on the drum. It moves to actually lifting their hand up and beginning to drum, and just then what you see is the magical part of what happens between that person and the drum and what it makes them feel like. I think a lot of it is the resonance. It's, the high pitches are gone, and so what they're feeling is the vibrations that are coming out, and it's a great feeling for them, and I've had a lot of really great experiences with it.
And it's something that you call a connection between the drum and the drummer, and it just, you've talked about the magic, and the story I had heard is the little boy just got the most amazing smile on his face, and you realized that this was a special moment between drummer and drum. Now, when you work with older patients, when you take the Comfort Sound technology, and what is the first response when you say to them, this is what we're going to do today? Are they sometimes Are they occasionally are they reticent to do it, or is there enthusiasm? Has it been a mixed connection regarding that?
I will a lot of times have seniors who will sit back and look at me like, I'm not doing this with you at first. But I don't give them a lot of chance to sit and think about it. We just start right in, and I start with a lot of times a Bahia bass drum, which isn't part of the Comfort Sound technology drums that they have, but it still has that lower tone to it. And once I get a groove going and I start moving my body with it, they start to smile. They start to tap their foot a lot of times is what we'll start with, and then they'll tap in their laps, and then we'll get them to move right onto the drum. And, other times I'll go into certain places, and I can't get them. I mean, they're on it from the get-go. They just can't wait to get to it. And So it just depends on the different communities, the different days, the different moods they're in. It's kind of cyclical sometimes with some of those places. But I never leave with someone irritated. If it's too loud, I'll scoot them back outside of our circle a little bit. Somebody from their staff will scoot them out a little bit so that they can participate, just not right in the middle of it sometimes. But other than that, they love doing it, and they exercise with me. I can get them to do things sometimes that some of the PTs and the OTs can't, they find it a lot harder to get them to do it because they're in a place where they know they're doing the exercise, and when they're with me, we're just having fun. Move into the groove is what we call it. And they just, for those seniors, I have a 104-year-old that moves right to the groove with us. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
Now, how long has it been that you've been working with the Remo drums, and in particular the comfort sound technology?
I've been facilitating drum circles for about 6 years now, but so we've been all along with Remo. So we've been with them since the comfort sound technology was born, and been all the way through all their different tests and then the different protocols the different prototypes that they sent out. So I don't know how many years that puts that with us. So, but the last year and a half especially this last year is when I went ahead and started switching pretty much everything I do over to that. Unless it's a big community drum circle, then I don't use those drums as much in that setting, just because of the different sounds that we want to get out of that group. But for everything else, I love them. They're easy. The Versa drums that I use that have the comfort sound technology all stack within each other. So I have a little teeny Versa car that I put my Versa drums in, and I can get 30 drums to a place if I have to.
Wow, that was going to be my next question, if you had a favorite. So that would be the Versa drum.
Yeah, I really like the Versa Tabanos because I can get 3 drums. They stack in groups of 3. And again, I have like a Nissan Versa, so if anybody knows how big that car is, it's not big. And I can get my Bahia bass drum. I can get up to 30 of those drums, and I can still bring rhythm instruments and movement and things that I bring. And it's a very easy in and out. My load in and out is not hard. So
now I know the response you've had from seniors and other patients and those with autism. What was your first response when you first experienced the comfort sound technology? I
personally love it and it's probably because now that I do this for a living, I'm constantly around drums all the time, and so for me it was a nice switch because I love the resonance of it. For whatever reason, for someone like me, I'm much more of a slow-paced person. I love the groove when it's in a real swingy kind of groove, and these drums lend themselves so well to that when I heard it, I loved it.
Wonderful. Lisa Colleen of Bongo Boy Music, thank you so much for touching in from your neck of the woods there in Indianapolis, Indiana, to talk to us about Remo Drums and Comfort Sound Technology. It was very nice chatting with you.
Yes, back at you. And it is all about the groove, so have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.